A Bausparvertrag wasn't the most popular financial product in the past, but now that interest rates quadrupled, there's an insane boom and everyone wants to get a Bausparvertrag now. In 2022, almost 900,000 Bausparverträge were sold with a total value of almost 60 billion euros, which is expected to increase another 15% in 2023. What's going on here? Why was everyone on a Bausparvertrag and now suddenly everybody wants one? And can this hype really be justified just by the rising interest rate? That's what we're gonna find out together in this PerFinEx video. To make sure everyone knows how a Bausparvertrag works in detail, which is crucial information for you to decide if you should get a Bausparvertrag or not, let's see the 3 phases in detail. Every Bausparvertrag starts with phase 1, the savings phase. It's probably not the reason why many of you get a Bausparvertrag in the first place. Most will probably get it because of the loan phase. But it's an important piece to the puzzle, so we should talk about it. Why? Because you cannot get a Bauspar loan without saving first. Bausparen is like a community that saves together in order to afford real estate faster for everyone involved. Let's say you can save 10,000 euro each year and want to buy a property worth 100k. You would need to save 10 years to afford your property, and so would everyone else who is in the same situation. Let's say there are 10 people in the same situation as you. A Bausparvertrag brings you 10 together, so you can buy the first property in year 1, the second in year 2, and so on. That means 9 people can afford a property earlier than if everyone would save completely on their own. But that also means that not everyone can afford a property in year 1, because there's not enough money in the pot. And that's why the savings phase 1 is a vital part for every Bausparvertrag. Savings usually go up exponentially over time, right? But here they don't, because the interest rate of a Bausparvertrag ranges from 0.1% up to a maximum of 1.6% per year. Sure, there are also Bausparverträge that give you 3% interest, but if you read the fine print carefully, you will get this bonus interest only if you do not take the Bauspar loan later on. But without that, there's no reason to get a Bausparvertrag in the first place. Or is it? Because if your goal is to save money only, without getting a loan later on, you can just get a high-yield savings account which returns almost twice as much as the Bausparvertrag with bonus interest. The link to the best high-yield savings accounts in Europe is linked in the description. After you saved usually 30% to 50% of your Bausparsumme, the total value of your Bausparvertrag, you may be eligible to go into allocation phase 2. Maybe. And that's a big maybe, which the shady salesmen that sell you a Bausparvertrag usually forget to mention. Your Bauspar contract might say that you get the loan after 30% to 50%. But that doesn't mean that you really get it. Let me explain. You have to request the loan from your Bausparkasse, as if you would have to request any other normal loan with any other bank. That means the Bausparkasse checks your financial situation and the property you'd like to buy in detail, and if they like both, you're very close to getting your loan, but you're still not guaranteed. Because remember, Bausparen is a community that relies on enough savings in order to give out loans. So if right before you a lot of other people requested loans and there's not enough savings in the Bauspar pot, you will have to wait to get your loan and your property is probably gone. Bye bye property! But let's be optimistic and say everything works out for you as planned. That means you enter the last and final phase, the loan phase. This is the part why most of you got a Bausparvertrag in the first place, I imagine. The clear benefit of the Bausparvertrag is that you know your loan conditions years and years in advance when signing your Bausparvertrag, giving you lots of security and planability going forward. What kind of mortgage rate can you get with Bausparvertrag currently? Anything between 1.41% up to 5.92%. 5.92%. What the f***, you might ask? And I agree, especially since the current interest rate for standard mortgages is around 3.5%, meaning the Bausparvertrag costs you more than a standard mortgage, so there are zero reasons to get a Bausparvertrag. And now imagine this. The Bausparvertrag that charges 5.92% loan interest is the same Bausparvertrag that gives you 0.1% savings interest. We're not gonna name any companies here because I don't want to anyone, but somewhere in Germany are sitting probably highly paid people in some product development team, and they say, oh yeah, let's create a Bausparvertrag with 0% savings interest and 6% loan interest. This is a really good product. I'm sure people want that. Is it just me or is this ridiculous? Anyway, I guess this goes to show you the importance of selecting the right Bausparvertrag out of the more than 80 different ones out there if you really want to get one. And that's exactly the big question that I want to help you answer in this video. Should you get a Bausparvertrag based on your individual situation? Based on how much you can save, the property you'd like to buy, when you'd like to buy it, and so on. The undeniable benefit of the Bausparvertrag is that you will start saving for the property that you'd like to buy. It sounds trivial, but we talk to a lot of people who want to start investing in real estate with €0 in the bank, or even worse, because they have 20k saved up but a 50k personal loan. A Bausparvertrag might not be the most efficient way to save money because of the low returns. That's certainly true, but at least you get going. And that's most important to me. And if you're looking for the most efficient way to save for your personal financial situation, feel free to book a meeting with us right here. If you decide to get a Bausparvertrag, please don't do it wrong like almost all people that we talk to. Let's do the math. If you get a €100,000 Bausparvertrag with a €100 monthly savings rate, which seems to be the most common, how long would it take you to reach the 30 to 50% to be eligible for the Bauspar loan? 25 to 41 years. Ignoring interest here because it's super low anyways and probably eaten up by all the costs of the Bausparvertrag. A €10,000 Bausparvertrag would be filled in 2.5 years. Is that better? No, because €10,000, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but in terms of real estate financing, it is absolutely irrelevant. Maybe some of you can explain this to me in the comments, but I don't understand how any of these scenarios is supposed to help you out. We talked about the interest before, in the first savings phase and in the last loan phase of the Bausparvertrag. Depending on the exact plan you have, the interest may not be great. Remember the plan with 0.1% savings interest and almost 6% loan interest, but at least it's secure. Remember 2022 when interest rates quadrupled in just a couple of months? Imagine you're about to refinance in early 2022 and then right before your eyes interest rates go from 1% to 4%. I'm sure that fucked up a lot of people pretty good. Not gonna happen with a Bausparvertrag. And to make the deal even sweeter, you can also secure government benefits with a Bausparvertrag. There's the building bonus, Wohnungsbauprämie, there's Wohnriester, there's a lot. The question is just if you're eligible based on your income situation and the property you'd like to buy. So if you want a Bausparvertrag, definitely check that before. My main issue with the Bausparvertrag is the last 2 points on the negative side, which will also summarize the video. The returns you will get with maximum 1.6% are just too low. There's no other way to put it. If savings accounts give you almost 6% these days, why would anyone get a Bausparvertrag? Because of the secure interest for your mortgage. I get it. But when we do the calculations for people, most of the time a Bausparvertrag is not an efficient use of their money. The real estate market is usually pretty slow and chill. But every once in a while, the dream property comes around and then everything has to go really fast. That's when we try to get the best mortgage from banks for our clients, which usually takes less than a week, manageable time frame. If you request your Bauspar loan, first it depends how much money is in the pot, we talked about it earlier, and we also experience that Bausparkassen take months to decide if people get their loan or not. With a bank, you're flexible. If a bank takes too long, you can just go to a different bank and get a mortgage there. But with a Bausparvertrag, you're stuck with the company that you have it with. And if they're too slow and your dream property is sold to someone else, there's nothing you can do. And that concludes our Bauspar video. Hopefully you could learn something that helps you improve your financial future, and I see you in the next one.